competition.
Well, who are we going to see?
Well, first, we're going to see Helen Obiri, a two-time Olympic medalist and seasoned runner with accolades that span across indoor and outdoor track and field, cross country, and of course here on the roads. And then, of course, Sharon Lokedi. She's having a great start to her year and is just coming off of that win at the Boston Marathon. And then we got to keep an eye on Agnes Ng'etich. She is the one that has that world record and the first woman to break 29 minutes for 10K.
Ng'etich is definitely the one to watch. She has been flying and is very excited to be back in New York City. Hey, Sam. Tell us what you're seeing.
Hey there. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the American women to watch. When Wendy Kaladi came here last year, she talked about racing against and the honor to race against Helen Obiri and Sharon Lokedi. And what did she do? She was the runner-up. It was such a joy to watch Wendy Kaladi last year, and she is back here this year. How about this? She is the runner-up last year, the fastest 10K by an American woman. Jess McLean also here, the top American at the Boston Marathon. In 2024, she was the U.S. 10K champion. Also, keep an eye out for Annie Frisbee. She finished 5th overall in the TCS New York City Marathon just a couple of months ago, last fall. And then the Boston Marathon, she would follow that up, finishing 8th overall at the Boston Marathon. So we're getting ready, taking a look at the start line for the pro women's races. They are getting set up by 90th Street, as we showed you a little bit earlier in Central Park West, before they make the journey down to Central Park and cover 6.2 miles for the New York Mini 10K, ladies.
Yeah, as you can see, the nerves definitely on the start line. But look at this, Tatiana McFadden definitely out in front, Alicia. This is where she likes to be.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's also where I would like to be, you know. There is something to having that adrenaline rush when you know everyone is chasing you, and also knowing within yourself that you have exactly what it takes to be able to hold people off.
Yeah, she definitely is aggressive. And you know what's really interesting, she is the winningest athlete that we've ever seen in track and field. And she is really gearing towards 2028, but this city has given her so much. She said she's been here well over dozens and dozens of times, but really 15 years of racing in New York City really has given her that confidence to be the best in the world.
Definitely. And you also have to think, with so much miles on her body, that she kind of just has it recorded within her DNA.
Well, she's been through a lot, and she's had some different changes now. She's just going through, it looks like mile 2 there, where she trained in Florida for a little bit. She was obviously with the University of Illinois, which has a number of athletes in this race. So she's been there. She went to Florida. Now she's back on the East Coast training and finding just a different kind of rhythm. She went through a lot of health issues, some ups and downs 3-4 years ago, and she's really finding her way back. She looked good in Boston, looked good in London, and so I think that we're seeing her now really kind of shine again, and now getting excited for the Olympic Games coming, the Paralympic Games, excuse me, in 2028.
Yep, and what a time for some freshness for her as well. You know, again, we're talking about Tatiana McFadden being such a seasoned veteran. Some of this can get monotonous, doing the same thing, for so many years. And so while nobody wants any sort of distractions to their health, but I think being able to have that change of scenery brings some freshness to her career.
Yeah, let's just repeat her stats. 5-time New York City Marathon winner. She's a 3-time winner of the United Airlines NYC half. She's 3-time runner-up here at the Mini. I mean, that just drives her day in and day out. She's also won 24 marathons. I mean, just the amount of winning that she's done is phenomenal, but also the amount of kind of heartbreak that this sport has given her is also phenomenal. And I love talking about her. I love watching her race. She is such a joy and just has such fierceness behind such a soft kind of heart and appearance there. I mean, she's really welcoming and excited about being where she's at and running this race.
Yeah, you talked a lot about winning, from the physical aspect of actually seeing somebody win, like over the course from start to finish. But she is such an inspiration, and she talks so much about watching the sport grow and how much, she plays a role in that. And I think that is where I see a champion.
Yeah, definitely. Whereas we're watching the elite women on the left side of the screen here get up to that start line. I mean, this is really the most nerve-wracking moment, I think, is just waiting for the gun to go off. And then once that gun goes off, it's just kind of a breath of fresh air. But a couple people to point out there, you can see Ng'etich Agnes Ng'etich there in about 3 people in from Jess McLean. Jess McLean is in that turquoise top. She is the top American from the last 2 Boston marathons. She is someone that is very aggressive and really finding her own in this sport in the last couple years. She really wants to win. Wayne Kaladi, you can see next to Clara Lucan. There's just so many names. Helen O'Beary in the center of the screen there. Sharon Lokedi right next to her. Emily Venters, Stephanie Bruce. Emma Grace Hurley having a phenomenal year this year. And then Annie Rodenfels on the far left. I mean, so many names that we're going to get into, Alicia.
Of course, we're seeing all the names, but let's talk about like really what we think that is going to transpire over the course of this race.
Well, this is going to be interesting. I think we're going to see Agnes Ng'etich, as we can see all these athletes really get ready to toe the line, is going to be the most aggressive. She should be. She's not coming off her spring marathon.
Timers, are you ready? Lead vehicle, are you ready? On your mark.
And they're off to the MasterCard New York Mini 10K. Oh, this is so exciting. They are on their way. But yeah, as I said, I think the woman on the right there in the purple and neon green is Agnes Ng'etich. She came here in the spring to run the NYC half, and it was very cold, Alicia. She's from Kenya. She trains over there, and she actually was in the lead with Helen O'Beary, and it was right after the halfway mark where she really started to struggle, and she actually finished the race in 13th but had hypothermia. So today is a better weather day for her.
Yeah, and that's, we have to also remember, Ng'etich doesn't really train over in the U.S. So having all of that difference within the climate doesn't play to her strong suit. But having the weather the way that it is today will help her. I also want to take a look at Clara Lucan. Clara Lucan, she's got the second best time out here today, and she is one of those athletes that is a really fierce competitor.
Yeah, well, let's check out this course map, see where they're going to be running today. They're going to be starting on 90th Street and head south on Central Park West. It's a downhill start to this race.
Yeah, they're going to get to see the entire park by taking this full loop. Now, something that you're going to see is some of these athletes taking it a little bit more conservative. We talked about the weather, but also, they are getting ready to go up to one of the biggest hills by the time that they hit 5K with the Harlem Hill. And then just after that, there's going to be rolling hills. And word out on the street is that if you go out too hard, it makes that 4th mile a little bit harder to hang on.
Yeah, miles 5 and 6, there are definitely some huge climbs, the biggest climbs of the race, but then it's a bit of a downhill back into the center of the park. And you know what, these athletes know how fast this course is. It is net downhill, but they will have to tackle those ups and downs, and it will take its toll.
Make sure they have a little bit to throw in some surges.
Yeah, I love this course so much. But yeah, we are already seeing the 3 most aggressive, I think, that I thought on paper. This is the entire field here, everybody. Helen O'Beary, as we've talked about. Wayne Kaladi finished 2nd here last year, but I think Clara Lucan, you're seeing her right up there in the pink hair. I just had her in my podcast last week. She is so fun. Sharon Lokedi. We definitely have to mention Gebra Salama. She is one of the fastest that we've ever seen over 10K, and she is here with great record coming in. She's had 2 104 half marathons, 64-minute half marathons just in 2026. Emma Grace Hurley, as I mentioned. Annie Frisbee, we haven't talked about yet. Annie Frisbee is coming off of a wonderful Boston marathon, and she was 5th in New York last fall in the marathon.
Yeah, and just more on Annie Frisbee. She said that she got dropped. She went out actually pretty hard in that Boston marathon, and she sort of dropped off of that front pack a little bit. But what she was most proud of was her mental strength to be able to kind of hang on for that PR.
Yeah, another name I want to mention here, Mercy Chelangat. She had a really nice 4th place finish at the Boston Marathon, dropping down in distance today. But there we're going to see a number of athletes, and another big name that is coming up, Elena Hayday. She had a really nice race too in Boston, but kind of making her way into the professional world of running. Sydney Vaught, debut over the road 10K. She's just graduating from college and making her debut here as a professional runner on the road. We've seen her on the track already, but yeah, here we're looking at Gebra Salama from Ethiopia. She is quite the athlete, Alicia.
Oh my gosh, quite the athlete indeed. You know what is really interesting to me is just, I do think that some of these runners really want to see an even pace. We talked about that beginning trying to be a little bit more conservative. But it looks like Ng'etich is not trying to have it be a pace that they can hang on to.
Well, Agnes Ng'etich is one to just be very aggressive. She won the World Cross Country Championship here in the States, actually, in Florida in January. And this is exactly how she ran. This is how she started the NYC half. She is aggressive, and she likes to put the hurt on early.
Take a
All right, and we're looking at Helen O'Beary, our defending champion. And I think Allie Feller got to catch up with her before the race as well.
Speed it up, speed it up.
I am here with Helen O'Beary. Helen, you come into this race as our defending champion, the one to beat. How does that feel? How are you feeling today?
For me, first of all, I'm so excited to be back here to defend my title, and I feel more happy to be here, to be in this amazing city, and to be here in this amazing people, and to try with the people I love in Central Park.
You know this race so well. What's the strategy at a race like this, especially coming off of a spring marathon season?
It's a very good race because it's a only women only race. So for me, I started here like I'm coming from marathon, so I've come here to see how my body will be because 10K, it prepares me well for the next thing ahead. So I like to come here because it gives me a lot of motivation, a lot of work to do, and to see where I'm gonna start to in my preparation towards the next thing.
It's a great field today. You, of course, included. You know these women in the field so well. So what's it going to take to break the tape today?
It's amazing to run with this field. I think it is the strongest field ever I've raced with, and I'm so happy with these young girls to inspire us to run well. And at the end of the day, we have the winner, and I wish everybody running this race all the best. Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the best, Helen. Have fun out there. Good luck. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you at the finish line.
Thank you so much. See you.
As we're watching this chase pack, you can really see Helen O'Beary is working hard. That's kind of the way that she runs. But when I spoke to her coach, Laura Thweet, she said, this is going to be interesting. She really went all in on the London Marathon where she was runner-up. She ran a new PB, 2:15. They're very fast, Alicia, but it hasn't been that long. So it's going to be interesting to see how she handles dropping down in distance.
Yeah, but Helen talked about where she is in the season right now, and this is just a really important marker for her to see where she is going into the summer, jumping into some track races. Everything is going to be a little bit shorter, and it's time for her to get some speed underneath her legs.
Yeah, and you can really see now Tatiana McFadden is working those hills. As we mentioned on the course map, there's about 3 really big hills in this course. One at that 5K mark, and then they hit it again at the 5th and 6th mile. And even though this is just 10K, it really gets you. The Central Park is definitely one that rolls every which way. Even when you get to the down, it still hurts.
Yeah, but you have to think they're in Central Park, and they get to run with a mixed bag of women and have people on the side that are going on their own runs cheering them on. So hopefully, that sort of has a little bit of a distraction from the pain of the hills.
Yeah, Tatiana really taking that off on that downhill. Watching Agnes Ng'etich, just one of my favorite athletes in the entire world. She is so fun to watch, and the New York Roadrunners got to catch up with her in her home country of Kenya and hear a little bit more about her.
My name is Agnes Ng'etich, 2 times world record holder, world cross country champ, and second fastest woman in half marathon. My life back at some years was hard. I grew in a poor family. My dad passed in 2014 when I was 12 years, and our life became a challenge. I started running when I was in primary school. I was in grade 7, and it wasn't that serious. I was just running for fun, and I was running for schools, at least to go and get food. I went to a competition, empty stomach, and we were doing 5,000 meters, and it came last at 2 p.m. So I ran, and at the first lap, I collapsed. Running has changed my life and my family life better. I managed to take them back to school because they had dropped out from school. And my mom now is in a very good position. she's happy because I remember when I was young, I was like, one day my mom will be happy. I'm so excited to run against Obiri, against Lokedi. They're amazing ladies, they're elite, they're strong ladies. So I can't wait to compete with them. I'm so excited. Cross country is something I loved since I was young. In New York, I saw it's hilly and up and down. And cross country same is just really challenges and stuff. Yeah, because it's a debut, I don't have that pressure. I'm going to run my race and enjoy.
Yeah, we enjoy watching her. We know that she has had heartache, but she always wears that smile, Alicia. And, you know, the pack is right behind her there. But I think what's important to remember with her is that she has something that she runs for. She has there's 8 kids in her family. She's got a huge family. Her mom is a really good athlete as well. So, yeah, we're just pleased to have her over here and just to watch one of the greatest ever run.
Yeah, and something I heard her say is just like, you know, she's excited to be out here. She enjoys the competition, and, you know, and she was lifting up also the women around her. She's like, it's a privilege to be able to run with Lokedi and with Helen Obiri, and I think that takes a really special athlete. And she says there's no pressure for her. You know, she's out here to run free and run happy and to take a chance. So
yeah, and we're watching the chase pack. It looks like Zingy Salama is in the lead of that chase pack, along with Wayne Kaladi, Helen Obiri, and Clara Lucan. So some of the fastest that we've ever seen in America, in Europe, and in the world leading this race. And then on the right side, we do see that we are within about 1 kilometer of the finish line for Tatiana McFadden, who will win her first ever NYC Mini 10K.
Oh, this is just absolutely incredible. I want to just name the strength that it takes to be able to come into these races after, you know, different challenges that, you know, Tatiana's been experiencing, and to come back out here and just have that championship mindset.
Well, as we mentioned, Tatiana is coming off of a really nice spring. She was 3rd in the Boston Marathon, 2nd in London, and then she went and broke 2 world records over in Switzerland. So she's been on a traveling tear, and also just running really, really well. But she is finishing up this race. Agnes Ng'etich continues to lead in the women's side. She is just coming up on that 4-kilometer mark of the race, and so not quite to that big hill of 5K, but this is something that we have seen with Agnes Ng'etich time and time again, whether she's on the track, on the roads, on the cross-country courses. She likes to just go out hard and see if she can hold on. And I'm telling you, when it is hot, this woman really runs well. She's showing us that. It was hot at the World Cross Country Championships, Alicia. Last year we saw her on the track in America. Very, very hot when she was racing here. And now we're watching Tatiana McFadden take those downhills. She is so powerful, and she is going to be finishing up this race here shortly.
Oh my gosh, Tatiana McFadden, talk about somebody who can take momentum, you know, just coming off of that incredible race that she just had. And she's heading down into the final stretches.
Yeah,
the New York Mini 10K.
Big turn here coming into that final stretch, and she knows that being runner-up the last 3 times here, she knows how important this final stretch is as she makes her way back into kind of the center of Central Park.
And let's take a look at the time here. Her PR 23:14.
Oh, there she is, the New York Mini 10K champion. Tatiana McFadden, her first time ever doing that. Susanna Scaroni, I am sure, is watching this race. She is very good friends with Tatiana McFadden. They are fierce competitors. We hope to see Susanna here next year, but today it was all Tatiana McFadden winning the MasterCard New York Mini 10K. And I know that this is going to fire her up.
Absolutely, and with a commanding lead.
Kind of her MO to take off. She's sort of like Agnes Ng'etich. She likes to take off, get out hard, and get out of trouble. You know, when you are racing, things can happen, and she likes to have her own space and really tackle the hills. But now it's all Agnes Ng'etich. She is using that downhill, as you can see, before she climbs here up to the 5K. We're going to keep our eye on the clock. The record here was set in 2023 by Sinberi Teferi. She ran 30:12. That is the fastest that we've ever seen on American soil. Now, this course is not world record eligible because it is net downhill, but we can have the fastest ever.
Yes.
So we're going to watch and see where she is here at 5K and see if we can give you a split. But it is all Agnes Ng'etich.
And there are no signs of any tacks right now. We have a small little glimpse of the chase pack. Looks like Helen Obiri is leading that chase pack and Wayne Kaladi within that pack with them. But right now, as you mentioned, the strength right now that Agnes Ng'etich is showing doesn't look like there's any slowing, and I'm really excited to see what this finish time could look like as we just passed the 3-mile mark.
Yep, heading up to the 5K, which is halfway. So let's just talk about her world record. She has a world record for an open race, so men and women together. That's 28:46. Then she has the women's only world record, which is 29:29. She did that over in Herzogenaurach, Germany, which was a very flat course. This is a hilly course, but like we said, it's net downhill, so there's more downhill than there is uphill. And as we just passed the 5K mark in just under 15 minutes, so she is definitely running very fast, and maybe not close to that world record pace, but she's close to the course record pace. As I said, it was 30:12.
And she's completely disregarding sort of what we talked about with this course of kind of going out a little bit easier as you prepare for just past the 5K, where you're going to face one of the biggest hills, going up Harlem Hill, and then preparing yourself for the rolling hills just after that in miles 4, 5, and then that sort of downhill.
Yeah.
On mile 6.
You know what's interesting here, Alicia, is I just saw as we were watching is, she can kind of hide now. When you start to make some of those turns and the pack can't see you, this is important for her to keep that pressure on, because that she can get away a little bit. As we're watching Gebre Salama, Wayne Kaladi, and Helen Obiri in that chase pack.
And you have to, see Wayne Kaladi. Wayne Kaladi finished last year just behind Helen Obiri. Yeah. So, Wayne has that fierce attitude that is like, I want to come back and I want to make sure that I show them that I am one of the ones to beat. So I think while we watch this chase pack, I really want to keep an eye on Wayne Kaladi.
Yeah, 14:57 is what Agnes went through 5K there. But Wayne Kaladi coming off of a really nice race last weekend in Manchester. So she's, too, a traveling queen. She was second to Clara Lucan, who I haven't seen here now in a little bit. Clara Lucan, she is still up in that top 5, but she's about 14 seconds behind the chase pack. So Agnes Ng'etich, 14:57, 17 seconds up from Gebre Salama, Obiri, and Kaladi, and then 20 seconds up from Clara Lucan. So yeah, last weekend we saw Wayne Kaladi really look like she was in fine form. She set her American record in the half marathon again this year. That's the 3rd time that she's broken the half marathon record. Wayne Kaladi is very fit and very strong. But this woman that we're watching right now is definitely a world beater, one that we need to keep our eye on because she's young. She hasn't quite tapped into, I think, her potential. She's the 2nd fastest half marathoner ever, Alicia.
I just think that she's absolutely incredible. Something I'm watching her do is continue to kind of take a look at her watch. I wonder what her strategy actually is in terms of, what she's trying to accomplish at the end of the day. Of course, a win we saw on the table. She knows that she's coming out here. It's her debut. There's no pressure. But, perhaps she's still thinking that it's possible that she can come away with one of the fastest times out here today.
Yeah, I think there's a lot riding on Agnes Ng'etich. She went to the Olympic trials in 2026 and she ended up not making the Kenyan team, and that has fueled her. And now she's thinking about what's going to happen in 2028. Is she going to go back to the track? Is she now going to move to the longer distances? I think there's been some chatter that she wants to tackle 26.2. So yeah, I think there's a lot riding on that. But we're watching Ziggy Gebre Salama, one of the greatest that we've ever seen as well. She is someone that has done so well on the track and in cross country as well. She was 4th at the World Championships in the half marathon. She also won a silver medal at the World Cross Country in 2023. So very versatile. When you run cross country so well, that's what New York Roadrunners loves. Because when you come to the streets of New York, if you can handle the ups and downs and all arounds on cross country courses, you should be able to handle the city streets in New York.
And there's more traction when you're on the road. So, you've got to expect that it's a great opportunity for them, too, to sort of improve on their strength.
Yep.
We've got Agnes Ng'etich, 25 years old. We're talking about a very young athlete with just so much potential and opportunity to grow.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching her race. I've been able to call a number of her races. It was pretty tough to watch how she struggled there in New York in the half marathon.
Again, we're back here looking on the right of our screen. We have just such a powerful move that is being made right now. It looks like Hellen Obiri and Wayne Kaladi are being dropped just a little bit. We have to watch what that third position is going to look like and who's going to actually make it on the podium between Hellen Obiri and Wayne Kaladi.
Just passing the 4th mile here is Agnes Ng'etich, who's been in the lead from the entire time. But yeah, you can see a little bit of insertion here for our runner-up here right now, our chase pack, and that is Ziggy Gebresalama of Ethiopia, trying to put it away here, get that second position and hold on strong.
But, I mean, it's not done, It's not done with that second position. I mean, again, we have strong runners with both Hellen and Wayne, and it looks like Hellen is sort of trying to draft off of Wayne a little bit as they climb these hills. You can actually see the incline that they are powering up, and Wayne Kaladi is ever so slightly reeling in my opinion, Gebresalama.
Yeah, Wayne Kaladi is definitely a challenger. She likes to stay on the shoulder of her competitors, and right now that is the race to win for these three right here, is to get second, because we know that Agnes Ng'etich is well out in front. Obviously the race isn't over, but she was 17 seconds up at the 5K mark, and she is just growing in that lead.
And again, right now we're watching Hellen Obiri sort of fall off right now, while Wayne's like, okay, I don't have the same support in running right next to Hellen right now in order to make sure that I'm clear on this podium. So you see the runners going and grabbing some hydration. It's hot out there today, and that's going to be something that she's going to need to do in order to make sure that she can make it to the finish line in good shape.
So we are hearing that Agnes Ng'etich is predicted to run under 30 minutes right now, so that would be a new course record and the fastest on American soil. It looks like she's right around 29:54 projected pace. This could be history in the making, folks. Ziggy Gebresalama on the right side of your screen. She definitely isn't getting away from Wayne Kaladi. She did put that big surge in, but Wayne Kaladi being able to tackle some of these hills, you can see that. But look at here, at 7K, Agnes Ng'etich is all alone. Agnes Ng'etich is good at everything that she runs. We've seen her run the 3K. We've seen her run the 5K, the 10K, the half marathon. She's just been a phenomenal athlete. And to know that her mom was a runner, just to get that advice and that excitement, knowing what she's running for, and that her mom has probably a little bit of knowledge herself.
Yeah, and I think, we're talking about family lineage and knowing what you've got within your DNA, but something that's really sticking with me is just her why is even beyond the run. The run is something that continues to fuel her, but her happiness and her family's joy is probably the biggest part of what fuels the run and fuels the joy.
Ziggy Gebresalama trains a little bit with Hellen Obiri in Boulder, Colorado. She is not coached by Dathan Ritzenhein and Laura Thweet, but she does train there, and so she's had the opportunity to be over in the States racing a little bit. We see her on the track quite a bit, but she has quite the resume herself. As I mentioned at the top of the show, she's a 64 half marathoner, and Agnes Ng'etich is a 63 half marathoner, so very close in times.
And it looks like we just have around 7 minutes of running left to take a look at.
And look at the masses here coming behind them. Over 10,000 athletes racing here today. And, we've talked a lot about Agnes Ng'etich's mom and some of the athletes like Hellen Obiri, who's a mom herself. All those women out there are racing for someone or running with someone. It's such a phenomenal day.
Have you run the mini 10K?
I have not gotten to. I've just run my mouth for it.
Sounds like we've got to make something like that happen.
I mean,
we can't do
mic
both,
me
though,
up.
I guess.
Mic me up.
That's right. Okay, so we're taking a look on the right side of your screen. We see Wayne Kaladi really sort of dropped off of Gebresalama. Gebresalama probably had a little bit of an inkling that Wayne Kaladi was on the way. You see her looking back, really making sure that she can keep that distance from her. There's no Hellen Obiri in sight right now. But, anything can happen we'll have to see as we roll into the final stages of this race.
Yeah, I asked Hellen Obiri's coach how she was feeling, and she just said London was a monster effort. Like, sometimes you put it all out there, and she said her legs are coming around, but her quote was she's still finding her legs. So, you know, we got to give it up to her for even showing up and just like giving it her all. She's still running against some of the best we've ever seen on over 10,000 meters, 10K. So she's still in this race. She's right now in 4th position behind Wayne Kaladi. And then as we see, Ziggy Gebresalama is the chase right there. She's in 2nd, and Agnes Ng'etich in the lead.
Agnes Ng'etich just passing that 5-mile marker. So we'll take a look at where she is in relation to this potential world record and course record over the New York Mini 10K.
Well, this is where the 2 biggest hills of the course come into play, right at 5 miles, and then again just about halfway through that 5th mile. So yeah, they are definitely getting close to home, and they could feel it.
Yes, just passing that 5-mile marker as well right now with Gebresalama. You know that they are having that inkling to think, like, how am I going to use the rolling hills to my advantage? Am I going to take these downhills and allow for me to gain a little bit of momentum and then know that it can take me into the uphills? Right now we see Ng'etich climbing, and just that difference in her cadence is not really visible at all, which I'm really thinking is going to take her to this world record.
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting to see if she can get a course record here. And
course record.
Like I said, fastest on U.S. soil. Like,
that's right.
We are watching history, people. She could be the fastest we've ever seen. Keep in mind, Sunbury to Ferry, as I said, 30:12 is the course record, fastest we've ever seen on U.S. soil, and she is about 30 seconds up from Ziggy Gebresalama. So right now, if she can hold it together, keep that pressure on, she will not only win the MasterCard New York Mini 10K, but she could get that record.
Gebresalama's cadence is changing just ever so slightly. You can see her kind of looking down at her legs, sort of willing them to continue to move up these hills. I mean, that's a common tactic for a lot of athletes, to just bring every single ounce of your being to carry you through the end of the race.
Yeah, right now too, climbing those hills, you can see where you sort of chop your step, try to drive your knees even though you're starting to feel the effects of the early hot pace that they had. 14:57 roughly was what they went through that 5K in. And then the chase pack was about 16, 17 seconds back from there. So yeah, definitely. But look at these guys trying to keep up with her right now.
Oh, not a chance,
buddy. Do you have any idea who they're running with?
Not a chance, my friend.
Ziggy Gebresalama on the right side of your screen, and Agnes Ng'etich on the left, chasing history here with hopefully running a sub-30 10K in Central Park.
Yeah, I mean, and also not too far back, I did see Wayne Kaladi. She's kind of hanging with the motorcycle there, but Ng'etich right now not letting up at all. She's not even worried about who is with her. So Ng'etich is really just about competing against herself right now.
Yeah, Ng'etich used to training with guys over in Kenya. You know, she really is one to be able to handle that silence of not having any competitors around her, and I think that's actually what fuels her. Watching her run in Florida in January at the World Cross Country Championship, she didn't want to be with anyone for any part of the race. From the get-go, she was all alone, going over barriers and through water pits and doing all of the things that cross country throws at you. And here is our top American right now, Wayne Kaladi. A little bit of she's leaning back a little bit more than I'm used to with Wayne. She's starting to feel this course.
Definitely, and you saw her kind of stick her tongue out even a little bit. But one thing that we can know is true for Wayne Kaladi is that Wayne is absolute champion. She's very gritty. I mean, I do sort of worry a little bit about the heat. You know, she does look a little bit less out of control than we normally see her. So I do have a little bit of concern.
I don't like how Wayne is looking right now. Wayne had a tough time at the World Cross Country Championship. She qualified for the U.S. team, but she's definitely struggling right here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely looking like there's a little bit of sodium loss, maybe some fluids. Not too far away from the finish line, so this is sort of tough to see right now with her.
Yeah, we're going to keep our eye on Wayne. I think that this is what happens, right? I mean, this is one of the toughest things about running is the heat and humidity, and And she trains in Flagstaff, so she doesn't have that humidity, but looks like she is definitely having some trouble. But we are watching Agnes Ng'etich again. She is coming, she has half a kilometer left of this race, you guys. This is where it starts. She starts to get a little bit of relief from those hills. She is now on the downward slope, heading into the finish line. And once we see her make that left-hand turn to that finish, that is all sprint time. That is the kick time. She has about 400 meters when she makes that left.
There we go. 400 meters left to go. She just passed that right now. It's all eyes on this clock.
Yeah, 29:03. Can she break 30 minutes? This is going to be tight. She is very close. 30:12 is the course record and the fastest that we've ever seen over here in America. She is one to set records. She is one to do it time and time again. She is the world record holder for the women only 10K. That was 29 minutes that she ran, 29:29, and she is on her way here to winning the MasterCard New York Mini. She has that left-hand turn now. It is just her final stretch.
She's just looking straight ahead. It is time for her to hit this tape with 15 seconds to break 30.
Here we go, everyone. Agnes Ng'etich, the winner of the MasterCard New York Mini 10K.
Oh, and it looks like she's going to be just off of that. Oh, that is
12 is still the record.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. She got the record.
A new record here, roughly 30:06 for Agnes Ng'etich.
Yes, amazing. She didn't break that 30-minute, but she did break the course record of 30:12.
The fastest we've ever seen in America.
That is absolutely incredible. She was able to see that clock and then have that big smile across her face. Really made me have a really big smile across my face.
I know, and you just know what she's running for. I mean, the emotion that she has, and she's been through a lot, losing her dad, and her family is a big family, and knowing that she did it. But this is Ziggy Gebresalama of Ethiopia having a very strong second half of this race, coming in here and finishing second in the 54th running of the MasterCard New York Mini 10K. Well, you got to give it up to her. She really pushed hard there and broke away from that pack. And Helen O'Beary, the defending champion, coming here in third.
Oh my gosh, Helen O'Beary. You know, it looked like Helen O'Beary was sort of falling off a little bit too, but she came in with a strong finish. Around 31 minutes over 10K. I mean, that is an absolutely incredible run. Somebody that I'm thinking about as well right now is Wayne Kaladi, and wondering if she's going to be able to cross the tape just in the condition that she was in.
That is Emily Venters, our top American. Emily Venters having a very strong finish, and alongside her, right behind her, I should say, is Clara Lukin, the Slovenian European champion. And Edna Kurgat, and then there is Sharon Loketi, who knows the streets so well, along with Jess McLean finishing up here. And I'm looking at Annie Rodenfels there coming up as well, as we watch Edna Kurgat finishing strong. Edna Kurgat was our top finisher for the U.S. at the World Cross Country Championships. So as we see all of these athletes make their way, Emma Grace Hurley, that was, I believe, Mercy Chelangat, just so many good athletes making their way here right around that 32-minute mark. Here is Dakota Popane. Lots of people know her, more of a marathoner, but loves to come and run the New York Mini every single year.
So many athletes just really testing themselves out there.
And there's Elena Hayday, as we mentioned at the early part of the race. But we are going to get to check in with Sam Ryan, who is back on the course. Sam?
Hey there, yeah, we are here on 72nd and Central Park West, where the runners made their way down before heading into the park. Wow, what a thrilling finish for the pro wheelchair race, and for the pro women's race, the open race. We saw the course record here on the women's side, and Tatiana McFadden, her first ever New York Mini 10K championship for her after finishing as the runner-up 3 times. So let's take a look at the results here. Let's start with the wheelchair race, and this was all Tatiana McFadden from the start. Here she is. She finished the runner-up 3 times, as I mentioned. Susanna Scaroni, the 6-time champ here, not here, and Tatiana McFadden, another win in New York City. And look at that margin of victory for her, 22.50. Congrats to Tatiana McFadden, a 5-time TCS New York City Marathon champ, and another marathon, another New York City victory here as she wins her first ever MasterCard New York Mini 10K. Allie Feller, the 4th member of our crew, she caught up with Tatiana McFadden.
Tatiana, we spoke just a few minutes ago about what it would take to break the tape today. You did exactly that. Congratulations, your first win here at the Mini. So tell us now, what did it take to take that win? How'd the race play out for you?
Yeah, the race was really good. It's hard to do this race after coming back from a Grand Prix track meet where it was track focused, and so come out to do this race. It's a tough one. You know, it's a fast course. It's hilly. So I like to just go out from the start and kind of keep it ahead and really just take the turns. And I feel like I take the turns really well here. And it's a great day to be out. It's a great day to have a women's race. And yeah, it was all overall a great day.
One of the first things that you said when you came across the line was, it's packed out there. Can you tell us, give us the sights and sounds of the 2026 Mini 10K?
Well, it's beautiful out. It's finally getting pretty warm out, so people were out cheering or running the course. So it was really quite busy. But yeah, I'm very happy with my lead cyclist, just kind of making sure that I had my space to go as fast as I could. But overall, yeah, everyone was out and about and cheering out all the women out there.
We love to see it. What are the takeaways from today? Are there any key learnings that you'll leave New York with?
I think be patient, especially, if you don't start out as fast as you want. I think it's always you have the rest of the race to kind of make it your own race, which I think is really nice. So I'm really learning just to be patient. If you don't have the start that you want or middle that you want, you can always finish really well.
And that you did. Tatiana, congratulations, your first win at the Mini. We're so excited for you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Allie. Thank you.
Back to you.
Thank you, Allie and Tatiana. Let's take a look at the podium here as Tatiana McFadden, her first ever MasterCard New York Mini 10K. Hoda El-Sharabegi, the first Egyptian to podium, and Michelle Wheeler finishing 3rd here in the pro wheelchair race at the MasterCard New York Mini 10K for Tatiana McFadden. Wow, a 5-time TCS New York City Marathon champ, a 3-time New York City half champ, and now the first ever New York Mini champ. Let's look at the pro women. Agnes Ng'etich, what a finish for her. She finished first in 30:07. That is a new course record. And she made her New York Roadrunner debut just a few months ago here at the United Airlines NYC half. Struggled in the cold here. In the warmth and the heat today, no problem for the 25-year-old Agnes Ng'etich. This was hers, and she dominated in this one. And she is with our Allie Feller. Hi, Allie.
All right. Hello, I am here at the finish. Agnes, congratulations. Wow, what a debut here at the Mini. Tell us about your race. You were solo pretty much that whole time. Was that the plan?
First, I want to thank the New York runners for inviting me here for the second time after half marathon. And for the race, it was so amazing. I mean, pushing alone from the start to finish, it's something I didn't plan, but after 400 meters, I saw I was strong, and then I was like, let me go and see who will come after me, and we will push together. But then I pushed, and then no one came, and then I tried to be patient alone in front there.
How was this course for you?
I mean, it's so amazing. Every corner, they are cheerers. They are like, go, go, Agnes, and they kept me strong, more strong, and Yeah, it was so fun.
You came to the half when it was very, very cold. Now you're here for the mini and it is very, very hot. Did the heat affect you at all?
No, heat didn't affect me. I mean, in Kenya, sometimes we train when it's hot. Half marathon, it was so cold. I served at that time, but this time it was good for me, and I didn't see any challenge.
No challenge. Agnes, amazing race. Congratulations. Thank you so much for being here. Hope to see you back at the mini.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Back to you.
Thanks so much, Allie, and congratulations to Agnes. She said she felt strong, and she looked strong today. Take a look at the top American finishers here. Emily Venters, 31.36. She finished 4th overall. Edna Kurgat at 31.44. Jess McLean, we talked about her and what she has been doing, 31.53, finishing 8th overall. There's Annie Frisbee. We told you a little bit about her in the Open. She finished 32.11, 10th overall. Sydney Vaught, 32.16 as we take a look at them. Allie Feller is standing by with Emily Venters right now. And we'll be with her in just a little bit as we look at the top American women. And now she has her. So let's go over to Allie Feller. Hey, Allie. As she's talking to Emily Venters.
I am here with Emily Venters, our top American in today's race. Emily, amazing job. Tell us about your race out there. How'd it feel?
It felt so good. I just felt so within myself the whole time. Like, I wasn't worried. I wasn't letting doubts come in my head. And I was just following Edna. My coach told me, quote unquote, draft like hell for the first 4 miles. And that's what I did, or tried to do. And then when we turned onto the left, after that downhill, I passed her and I just didn't look back. So.
Tell us a little bit about the course and about what you saw along the way. How are the fans out there? Have they come out?
Yes, the fans were so good, especially at the start. And I always try and lean into that and listen to what they're saying and use it to just kind of smile at least the first little bit. And again, remember that I love running and that's why I do it. You know, it's not a punishment for me, and it shouldn't be something that, makes me super anxious. I just need to embrace that, yeah, I love running and that's why everyone's here.
Such a deep field in general today, and especially such a deep American women's field. Yeah. What's it like being a part of that?
Incredible. Every time I have the chance to, line up with a field like this, it's an honor. I mean, I've looked up to a lot of these women for so long, and obviously I feel like I'm still a ways from some of them, and I want to get there someday, but to just be behind them and chasing them is so fun and, yeah, so rewarding. So I'm honored to be a part of it.
Well, strong showing today, Emily. Congratulations. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Allie. Allie's the best, by the way, too.
It's the best. I love it.
We'll keep you around.
I mean, Emily Venter says she wants to be part of the best. She is.
She really is. I mean, I loved what she said about just really running within herself.
Yeah.
And just remembering why she's doing it.
Yeah.
She really loves running, and it's not a punishment. And I hope that more young athletes that are coming into the sport actually remember that.
Well, she had a great day out there, and we could see all these athletes finishing now, but knowing that we had the fastest ever.
Wow.
On American soil, run by Agnes Ng'etich, who was all smiles. She said even at the very first 400 meters, she knew that she had it and she was going to push hard.
Is anybody going to come with me?
No, right?
Nobody did, so let me just figure this out myself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hot day out there, and
Very
it's
hot.
just really impressive that she was able to push herself the way that she did all by herself.
Yeah, and she's just not afraid to get after it and go for it. As we are watching a lot of these athletes, over 10,000 athletes are out there running today. Really fun to see what happens up front, but also within the race, there's so many different stories, so many new PRs and personal records, personal bests, all of the fun things that are happening here at the Mini 10K. But yeah, let's check in with Sam. Let's see how she's doing today.
Yeah, you mentioned it's a little warm out here.
Yeah.
It is warm, but you also talked a little earlier about how this just transcends different generations as well. Women are running with their daughters. Daughters are running with their moms. And just, you have the girls race, ages 8 to 18. I remember my child ran it one year, and I ran the women's race. And it was just so fun doing that together and to share that moment. And that's what we're seeing here today as well. 10,500 women out here as we celebrate women for the annual Mini 10K, and this goes back to 1972. As we've been telling you, it has grown in popularity over the years and in strength, and Wow. I mean, you look at the pros as well. So you have the excitement from the pros down to the girls' races. We also have the Crazy Legs runners here today. Just so many, they come here every year, and they've been running this. It's a tradition for them. It's history for them as well. So there is so much history and tradition in this race, all here in Central Park. And it's such an honor to be part of this and to share it with you ladies.
Yeah, I love hearing how you love to run all these races, you and I, well, and Alicia as well. Like, we love to talk about them, but we also love to put left, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the exact joy of kind of being out here today, knowing that feeling and how exciting it is to be out there and to be challenging yourself.
Yeah. Well, let's check out the wheelchair race. Let's see what happened there again. As we're looking on the start line, Tatiana McFadden just takes off from the get-go.
Tatiana talked about how she was going to go out and just push the pace. That's what it was going to take in order to cross the tape first, and that she did. And another thing that I mentioned was just like that energy from all the folks in Central Park. You know, she talked about taking that energy in and allowing it to fuel her across the tape.
Yeah, been runner-up 3 times here, but today she cracks the tape. And in second place, we got to give it up to Hoda El Sharbaghi. First time ever by an Egyptian to be on a New York Roadrunner podium. So that is really cool. So Tatiana taking the win, Hoda in second. Michelle Wheeler, lots of people know her. She is also a very good marathoner and did well today here. And Lyndon Williamson having another top finish. She was here last year, finishing 4th today, along with Rachel Cleaver, Melina Sobey, and April Coughlin in our top 7 for our wheelchair race today. And on the women's side here for the professional race, as we're watching them take off, we were wondering, how was Agnes Ng'etich going to run against Helen O'Beary, Sharon Lokedi, Wayne Kaladi, all the names. And it was pretty much a one-woman race the entire way.
Yeah, we were looking a lot to that head-to-head with Helen O'Beary and Sharon Lokedi, but Agnes Ng'etich said, no, it's okay. Don't forget about me. I'm going to go ahead and press that pace and make sure that you guys talk about me in the years to come as part of that head-to-head competition.
Well, we definitely are going to be talking about her for many more years. And I think everyone wants to see her run 26.2 miles. But Wayne Kaladi really struggling today again in the heat. So tough day on the American side for Wayne Kaladi, but we have to give it up. And all the praise goes to Agnes Ng'etich, the fastest we've ever seen him here in America. Ziggy Gebrselassie in second, and there is the great Helen O'Beary coming off of a runner-up finish at the London Marathon just 5 weeks ago. Agnes Ng'etich again taking that win in a course record 30:07. Ziggy Gebrselassie, Helen O'Beary, and then top American Emily Venters and the European record holder Clara Lukin. Her first time here racing in New York City. Pretty awesome day. And Sam, you had fun out there today?
So much fun, and it's exciting to watch Agnes Ng'etich. You were talking about her for years to come. We have to keep in mind she is only 25 years young and just made her New York Roadrunners debut just a couple of months ago. To see the growth from March to now, just the difference is in climate. And she talked about with Ali Feller about half marathons being difficult, the 10K. What a great performance by her tonight. We know what she can do as, in the world record holder there in the 10K, and now the course record here today at the New York Mini 10K. Wow, exciting to watch.
I mean, can you imagine? She's the second fastest over the half marathon. Yeah. Now she is the fastest we've ever seen in the world and in the U.S. over 10K. Yeah. I know that Sam and Dorian, the elite coordinators of New York Roadrunners, are just wondering when she's going to come run the 26.2, the TCS New York City Marathon.
Yeah, and she's got time. So
yeah, she does. Yeah. We want to rush her, but we sort of want to rush her.
Thanks so much for joining us. You guys did a fantastic job, as always. Carrie Tollefson, Alicia Montano in the booth today, calling the race, and where we saw a course record today, and we saw the first ever win in the Mini 10K by Tatiana McFadden. We're congratulating Tatiana as well, who is a 5-time TCS New York City Marathon champ. She was a runner-up here 3 times, and now she won the wheelchair division as well. So what a spectacular day here in Central Park. The sun is shining, the weather is warm, but it was heating up along the roads. Allie Feller, we thank her for joining us as well with the post and the pre-race interviews. And we thank you all, everyone from New York Roadrunners, from Film 45, and from ABC 7 New York. Thank you for watching the MasterCard New York Mini 10K. Have a great day, everybody. I'm Sam Ryan.